What is gesso? You may or may not be sure and probably have so many questions about it. Don't worry, in this video, I'll be sure to cover all the details. Welcome back everyone, so let's talk about what gesso actually is. To simply put it, it's a surface prep. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been referring to gesso and priming my surfaces whenever I create a painting. And before I go into doing my finished pieces, I always begin with a prep step of priming my surface. This way, I have a nice base layer before I begin painting. So as gesso is a surface prep, it also acts as a primer. Gesso is similar to acrylic paint, but it's much thinner. It usually comes white, it is acrylic base, and it's used to seal surfaces for paintings. If we look at the back of the bottle, we see some instructions, the consistency, and what it can be used for. So let's take a closer look. Gesso is used to seal, stiffen, and provide surface tooth for painting surfaces. It is permanent. You apply it raw to canvas using for acrylic, oil, or any paint media. You should sand before applying. Let it fully dry. You should not mix it with oils, and you can tint it with acrylic color. Now that we know what gesso is, let's discuss why it's important and if you even need it. When it comes to creating paintings with acrylic, whether you're using oil or if you're using acrylic gouache or gouache, taking that extra step to prime with gesso can be really beneficial. In the sketches that I have created here in my sketchbook, I used an acrylic primer and I tinted it with some paint. I show how I painted this in a previous video, but it does seal the surface and creates a beautiful base for painting. Now, when it comes to oil paint, I believe it is the most crucial to use your gesso as a base layer, and let me show you why. Here's a quick painting I did in my sketchbook using no gesso under, and you can see all of the yellow going through, and that's basically the oil absorbing the paper. Since oil is very thick and absorbs through, it's really important to protect your paper before you begin painting. So now in recent sketches, I do prime my surfaces with gesso, especially in my sketchbooks, and as you can see when you flip the page in the back, my watercolors are still safe. Also, if you watched my 100 Eyes challenge, you know that I have been priming the wooden panels with my gesso as well before I go in with oil. I happened to find these small wooden panels, and before I began painting, I made sure to prime with a white gesso, and that way no oil would absorb through the wood. Before creating these finished oil paintings, I created a layer of gesso to make sure that it seals the surface and that my paintings can last for many years. I prime with gesso before every single oil painting and acrylic painting, and although it's tedious, I make sure never to skip that step. Now, if you're using watercolor, especially in your sketchbooks or in a thick piece of paper, gesso is not important and you may want to skip that step since watercolor is made to absorb the beautiful textures of the paper. So whenever I'm using watercolor, I go straight with brush and paint on paper. As you can see with some of the sketches that I created from my 100 Heads challenge as well, I painted right in my sketchbook without priming with gesso because I wanted the texture to show through. And in these sketches that I did with gouache, I also primed my surface with gesso, and you can see how bright and colorful the pages came out. Alright, let's talk about some different brands of gesso. I've recently discovered this Liquitex Professional Gesso, and it has by far been my favorite. I've tried other brands and purchased buckets of gesso, but I actually personally love the top and how it opens and how I can squeeze out the gesso. I find it to be super easy to use, and I love the consistency of this brand. It's nice and opaque, yet it's thin enough to move around, and it's really nice to blend. When it comes to looking for different brands, there are so many on the market and there are so many choices for sizes and types, but after trying a few, I personally love the Liquitex brand and that is what I decided to stick with. And now whenever I'm using the bottle, I just make sure that I'm actually cleaning the top to get rid of any residue or any dried up gesso at the very tip because you want to prevent that from happening so that you can close it nice and tight. Now you may be thinking, what can I use gesso on? Well, in my previous videos and actually on all my sketchbooks whenever I want to paint the cover, this sketchbook had a canvas cover, so I did prime that with gesso before I began painting with acrylic on top. I made sure to seal the surface, and then I was able to create a beautiful illustration on top. I also use gesso to prime some sketchbook pages. I use it to prime illustration boards when I'm creating paintings. And if you saw my skateboard video, you know that I primed it before I began painting. I also use gesso to prime any canvases that I want to go over. This is actually a painting that I did and I wanted to fix it and redo it. So here you see that I have painted on it already and I just gessoed over it to restart. Once you've applied a few coats over your painting, it is ready to be painted on again. Now, brand new canvases like these also come pre-primed, which they are already primed with a coat of gesso, but I still like to sand down the original layer that it comes in and then apply my own set of gesso. I used to paint a lot on canvases, but I recently switched over completely to ultra smooth gesso panels. I really prefer these surfaces more only because of their smooth surface, and honestly, it's just a personal preference. I used a gesso board to create the painting of Matilda and also this dog pet portrait. And now whenever I'm creating paintings, I always find myself being drawn to these smooth gesso panels. And essentially, they are just wooden panels like this big one you see here, which is going to become a really large painting, which I'm going to be gessoing very shortly. It's quite large, so I'm going to be sanding it down and then creating a full base gesso layer before I begin the big painting, and I am super excited. So now that we've discussed what we can use gesso on, let's talk about how you can use gesso. And to demonstrate the full process on how to prime your surface, I'm going to be using this wooden panel that I have. And as you can see, the raw wooden texture is still here. So step 1 is going to be to sand our surface. I'm just taking a sanding block and using circular motions, as you can see here, to sand away any original coating. This also cleans up from any dust particles and it just prepares a nice smooth surface for you to paint on. I like to check in once in a while and touch it to make sure it's nice and smooth. And before I show you guys how we're gonna gesso, let's talk about a really important factor: brushes. Brushes are very important for the gesso process because you want to make sure they're nice and smooth for the gesso to lay on smooth. I like to use the synthetic brushes because they're really nice to apply the gesso with, and as my painting gets larger, my brush gets larger. I like to make sure I'm using a flat brush because this way it ensures that I'm creating and putting down a nice layer of gesso, and I want my bristles to be nice and soft yet slightly strong whenever I'm applying gesso. I also like to take some smaller brushes for even smaller surfaces, and I wet it a little bit with water to make sure it's nice and damp before I begin gessoing. So once you've grabbed your gesso, I like to take a little bit and apply it right onto the surface, but be very careful for too much not to spill out. I also prepare some water and a scrap paper towel just in case anything goes wrong. So I'm going to start off with directions going down. And this is very important because as we interchange coats, we're going to interchange our direction of the brush. So for this coat number 1, I'm going to be only painting up and down. You want to make sure that your coats are thin because you want to prevent any bubbles or warping from happening. And that's it. Just keep going in the direction that you started with. I also like to keep my brush at an angle and apply very consistent pressure, and I also paint my sides to make sure that I have a nice even coat. After, I take a little piece of paper towel to make sure I wipe off any excess that can build up under. I make sure to be very gentle, and I try to be as neat as possible. And coat number 1 is finally complete. Now we have to wait for it to dry in order to do the next coat. It may be really hard to stay patient at this time, and you may want to do your second coat immediately, but if you still see some shiny areas, then your gesso is probably not completely dry just yet. When I was first priming my surfaces, I was getting really impatient and trying to hurry up the process, but if you do rush, you may see that you have some bumps or warps in the way. But now it's time for coat number 2, and we're going to move to the direction side to side. As I've mentioned, we're going to interchange the direction of our brush strokes, and I'm doing a final test to make sure that we're good to go. And for my surface to be completely dry, I then apply a little bit more gesso and continue going side to side this time. Remember to keep a delicate touch with your brush because if you push too hard, you may create and lift up the gesso. So just think about gliding your brush on top of the surface. Now you may notice that there will be little streaks as you begin to add your layers. You can either wait for it to dry and resand, or apply a little bit of water to make it smoother. Once you've applied your next coat, let's actually quickly talk about how many coats do you actually need. For my sketchbook pages and sketches, I apply 1 to 2 coats. For my finished paintings on panel, usually I go anywhere from 4 to 8 coats, and I always interchange the direction for each coat. Now all that's left is for your surface to completely dry and it's ready to paint on. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helped clear some really highly requested questions. Doing a base layer of gesso is a really important part of my creative process, and I was really happy to share it with all of you. I hope you're staying creative, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!